obviously, tonight's the New Hampshire primary, and Michael had really doubled down on New Hampshire, but as I was driving over here, he was making his concession speech and dropping out. And the reason, well, it's sad, but the reason that I wanted to come tonight, while he was still running, but with the idea if things didn't go well tonight, he may not stick around. One is because he's your United States Senator, and over the last 9 months that he has been running, I have gotten the opportunity to see the guy who even though he's been in office for 11 years, I don't think the state of Colorado, and particularly Democrats, realize actually how progressive he is. And so I would encourage you tonight, if you don't, and I don't know how long the website will stay up, but if you need it, I will find materials and send them to you, is read about his platforms and where he was coming from. That doesn't change tonight. He is still your U.S. Senator, and he still believes those things. And there was a tremendous amount of a progressive agenda there. And I'm excited about him returning to the Senate and being able to drive that as we move forward. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you tonight, is to say, I know I'm glad he's still our U.S. Senator. And his voice is really unleashed. The second thing I want to say is thank you to all the campaigns and to the workers. Coming from Iowa, I got a chance to go to Iowa this year and to do a little bit of campaigning, and the people who put themselves in those positions and are willing to support their candidates and do the work, and he just drove from Iowa so he could come to Colorado for Super Tuesday. It's now our turn in Colorado to get the candidates and to really be thinking about what we're going to do. And so I really want to say thanks, and to all of you for supporting your candidates, because it's hard work, and I'm glad that I'm home now and able to hang out with my family a little bit. The third thing that I'll say is that I think Michael's message, I know he will continue to campaign towards the goal that we just heard, which was very eloquently put, which is we are going to be united. I hope we all have as much excitement as anyone who's campaigning for an individual candidate through the rest of this year, through the national convention, and then on into the fall, whoever becomes the candidate, however they become the candidate. And that's where it will get really hard for us, right? It's going to be hard because we're going to compete with one another. No matter what happens, when that's done, we have to unite. I will say that in listening to Michael, and the thing that Michael was leading on was about thinking about, for him, the big enchilada is not only getting rid of the president, but also getting rid of Mitch McConnell as the majority leader. So taking the Senate back, and that is an equally tough job. And so I know what Michael would say is, imagine, and can't think who I was just listening to, but imagine inviting to Alabama, to Michigan, to Wisconsin, who is the presidential candidate that you might choose, who those senators who are in red states and need to either hold their seats or we need to flip those seats. What presidential candidate can you imagine going into those states and being able to track the 9 million voters who voted twice for Obama and then turned to Trump in 2016? We've got to get that group of people back. And which of the candidates might best be able to do that? So I'll just leave you with that, because that's what Michael's been campaigning on. And I think there's some candidates in the race that are like that. But Super Tuesday's right around the corner, and it's a big deal for Colorado now to be part of that race. So thank you.